Draymond Green has long been known as one of the most controversial players in the NBA. He's known for his dirty play and natural ability to rack up technical fouls. A lot of people also believe that he talks a lot for someone that averages a triple single every game. But Green has not only carved out a long career, he's also a huge reason why the Warriors are still relevant today, and a lot of that is because of his basketball IQ. Green is arguably the best modern defender ever. Part of it is his ability to defend all 5 positions, but the first thing that really stood out is his ability to fool defenders. On this one, Luka is looking for Gabe Vincent off the screen, but sees all this space in the paint. So as he drives, Green starts to help, but as Luka Euro steps, Green starts to fall off to Aiden because Luka can't see him at this point. But because Luka's thinking that Green is still pursuing, he ends up throwing it out to Aiden instead of going for that layup. These sorts of instincts really help him defend the pick and roll. The pick and roll is arguably the hardest action to guard because defenders are usually trying to react to the ball handler, which allows the offense to dictate the action. But when teams face Draymond, he's the one that's dictating the pick and roll, and that causes a lot of problems. Here, the Lakers are trying to run Spain pick and roll to get Aiden going to the rim. Green initially jumps at Reeves and then backs up. So at this point, Reeves expects to have room to throw a lob, but Green then suddenly blitzes, forcing him to pick up the ball. That then gives Green time to get back to Aiden in the paint, and the pick and roll is shut down. What I like most is how he just messes with the ball handler's timing. He blitzes Luka at the sideline and gets back, but on the Reeves pick and roll, he drops back instead and plays in between Reeves and Aiden. Because Reeves doesn't know where he's committing, he picks the ball up and has to kick it out to Luka, who then settles for a deep 3. For the whole night, Reeves really struggled to figure out the timing of the pick and roll. When he thought Green was blitzing, he tried to get the ball out early, but Aiden can't roll that fast, so it ends up in a turnover. So in the fourth quarter, the Lakers tried to involve anyone but Green in the pick and roll. But notice how Marcus Smart brought Buddy Hield to the corner, and that made JJ Redick upset. And again, it's because Green's now part of the play. On this double drag, Green intentionally starts really far off of LaRavia. That's because he's reading Reeves' eyes, who wants to throw it to Hayes and go into a dribble handoff. But as Reeves tries to pass, Green then jumps that lane, so he has to now pick up his dribble. And now, LaRavia has to try to make something happen, and you know how that's going to turn out. My favorite thing though, that I've never seen anyone else do is the surprise double. So he'll set up like he's going to drop, but then suddenly come up. And because Mikal Bridges isn't expecting it, he picks the ball up and Green's able to rip it away. Here's another one. In overtime against the Nuggets, Murray thinks Green's gonna drop, but as he uses the screen, Green then jumps him and Murray panics and throws it away. The other thing Green does so well is protect weaker defenders. He knows that stars like to go after Steph Curry, so he'll recognize when that's happening and scram Curry out to the corner. So Luka tries to bring Curry up in the pick and roll, but Green then gets over the screen, so they try to do it again, and the Lakers have to settle for a semi-contested 3. But maybe where this comes in handy the most is in clutch situations, something that I mentioned in a previous video. With the game tied at 120 and needing a stop, the Warriors know that Murray and Jokic are probably running pick and roll, and you'll see Draymond point to Kuminga to take Christian Brown so that he can take Murray. The idea here is that with Horford on Jokic, Green can then switch that Murray-Jokic pick and roll. But the Nuggets are one step ahead. Brown is positioned to screen for Murray, which would force Kuminga to switch onto him and then take Green out of the play. So Green tells Kuminga to take Murray instead, which keeps himself in position to switch. Now Murray saw that and tells Christian Brown to clear out. But as Brown tries to do that, Green tells Kuminga to take Brown instead, and that then gives the Warriors exactly what they want. So as Murray and Jokic run pick and roll, Horford and Green can switch, and that's about as good as you can do it without fouling, and the game went into overtime. Funny enough, the situation happened almost to a T back in their last matchup in the 2024-2025 regular season. So Jokic is left alone, and he's trying to get the Nuggets' attention like, hey, I'm open. Now you'll see Green point to Moody to take Jokic in the corner. Of course, Green knows that Moody can't guard Jokic, but he again saw Christian Braun looking a screen for Jokic. So once Jokic comes off this screen, Green would then be able to take him. And just like Murray, Jokic tries to tell Braun to get out, but as he tries to, Green tells Moody to switch onto Braun so that he could take Jokic, and that advantage is lost. And this is why he's one of the best defenders, despite him only being 6'6". He knows where he needs to be at all times and can be a threat at any part of the floor. Even when Aiden misses the shot, he still recognizes that he's got to tip the ball out to prevent the offensive rebound. Just like how Curry is the offensive engine, Green is essentially the defensive system for the Warriors. And the numbers from opening night tell a lot of the story. When Green was in the game, the Warriors' defensive rating was at 90, but when he went out, their defensive rating ballooned all the way to 120. Again, it's his unique blend of understanding the Lakers' tendencies and dictating their actions that makes it hard to get anything past them. Where things are more interesting though is on the offensive end. Green is pretty limited offensively, but Curry has talked about how he wouldn't be the same player if Green wasn't on the floor, and that's where a lot of his value lies. Because Green can't shoot the ball, most teams believe that they could just sag off of him, but he essentially is a shooting threat because of his two-man game with Curry. So if someone left him alone, he becomes an outlet that then can create a Curry 3. And the only way teams can prevent that is if they stay up on him. The best asset in Green's game is his playmaking. Despite not being able to shoot, the Warriors still trust him with the ball in his hands because he's great at reading the defense and then making the proper pass. But what I find the most interesting is when he doesn't have those passing lanes. Here he's trying to find Butler under the basket, but Christian Braun's face guarding him. But because his back is turned, Green attacks Jokic, which pulls the defense in. That then creates a Kuminga cut and a passing lane, and JK is able to get fouled at the rim. Because Green's the most limited offensive player, Jokic was on him for a lot of the game. But that basically didn't happen because he would often cheat towards other Warriors players as another help defender, and that's where Green still made things happen. On this one, Jokic is in the paint to protect against any Jimmy Butler drive, and as Curry moves to the other side, Jokic calls that out, but his back's now behind the play. So Green sees the driving lane, which brings Christian Braun in, and that means Jokic has to recover to the three-point line instead. And that's how Draymond can still make himself an offensive asset on the floor. Yes, he does need Curry to really be as useful as he is today, but there's also very few players that Curry trusts more than him. Of course, experience helps, but it's Green's ability to understand how defenses are playing him that allows him to decide what he's got to do. Most of the time, that focus is on getting Curry open. So if it's moving to an open spot to be a passing outlet, screening certain individuals that helps Curry break free, or finding him in certain spots on the floor, Green is usually at the right place at the right time. And it's because of his incredible basketball mind, one that very few have, that has allowed the Warriors to be so good for many years. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If so, please feel free to like and subscribe. If you like content like this, I just recently launched a Patreon where we cover more topics in depth just like this. There's a 40% discount for the first month that's valid until November 20th at the moment. Regardless, appreciate all the support, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.